A federal appeals court ruling most of President Trump's reciprocal tariffs are illegal, claiming he exceeded his emergency powers to rewrite trade policy.
The administration now looking to appeal the decision.
Joining us now, U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. So my understanding is the way the court looked at this is that in terms of the reciprocal tariffs, they had a problem with that, but they don't have a problem with national security tariffs. So what prevents President Trump from just rewriting the purpose of all of the reciprocal tariffs as being national security tariffs?
Well, thanks for having me on. And I think the key here is that the emergency that we're looking at are all the conditions arising from having this massive trade deficit of $1.2 trillion in goods with the rest of the world. And so the legal authority that was used in this instance really is the best legal authority available for this. And listen, we had 4 judges on that court agree with a large part of President Trump's approach. So this is not over. All the tariffs are still in effect, and this clearly is the best and most flexible tool for the president to use for his reciprocal tariffs.
Mr. Greer, why don't you talk to us about the impact if this ruling is upheld for whatever reason? I know you guys are appealing this, and there's probably a lot of ways that the president's going to try and get around this and keep his tariffs in, but how bad will it be for America if we don't have these tariffs?
Well, it would be disastrous. Remember that over President Biden's presidency, the trade deficit increased by 40%. It was already enormous, and it increased to $1.2 trillion, which means manufacturing jobs overseas, importing food from overseas. The imbalance is just unsustainable. So if we lose the program, it makes it very, very difficult to fix that problem. On top of that, we've negotiated a number of great trade deals with companies premised on the existence of these tariffs. We just released a statement last week with the EU giving a lot more detail on that. They've already moved to implement tariff reductions. We're going to move to implement adjustments as well. So this whole system that the president has set up would come under jeopardy.
Does this court ruling kind of mean that we're probably not going to see any more deals between now and the ruling from the Supreme Court?
No, not at all. Our trading partners, they continue to work very closely with us on negotiations. As I described it to one trade minister yesterday morning on the phone, we see this as a hiccup more than anything. Obviously, we take it seriously, but we're very confident in the legality and the necessity of these tariffs.
One of the things that I think President Trump touted the most, or at least pounded the pavement on the most during the election, was the idea that energy is kind of the source to all evils and the source to all recovery with our economy. If we look at just gas prices at the pump being an indicator of where our energy is since President Trump, I mean, look, this really tells the story of 2 presidents. I mean, you're talking about $2.22 in 2020, even lower in 2021 than the rest of Biden's presidency, and now we are in President Trump, and it's at least 10 cents a gallon cheaper at this time than it was last year. It looks like it's heading in the right direction. Is it President Trump's policies that are doing that?
100%. Remember, the trade policy is just one pillar of the broader economic policy. When the gas prices are low for consumers, it also means that they're getting lower for our manufacturers and companies that make in America, and that makes us much more competitive. We just had GDP revised upward again to 3.3% for the second quarter. Blue-collar wages are up 1.4% over this time last year. So everything that was intended for this economic policy to get working-class wages up and to get inflation down, all of that's working.
Let me just go back to the tariffs for a second here. How does that, I mean, you've been negotiating all these deals with all these different countries. How does this ruling, this situation, impact your leverage with these countries at this moment?
So again, well, listen, obviously we have to have these tariffs in place, but these countries know that tariffs are now part of the landscape. As I think was mentioned earlier, we have a large variety of national security tariffs that remain in place without any question. We have a number of tariffs on China from the first term that have been challenged in court and have withstood challenge every time. We have a variety of other tools as well. All these countries know that we have to rebalance, that we have to have a situation where the United States is exporting more, consuming more of stuff we make here in America, and that's why people are moving forward with their deals, regardless of what this court may say in the interim.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a jobs program for Americans as well.
Yeah, we have to move, but has President Trump managed to move the political ball as well within Congress that to his, to your line of thinking that these tariffs really are good for the U.S. economy? Yes, we have. Congress has seen the revenue that has come in. That's not the main purpose of these tariffs, but obviously that's a byproduct. So they value that, and also they see that we're manufacturing more. Investment is coming here. People recognize this, and we even have folks from the other side of the aisle even saying that we need to have tariffs too.
Well,
Jamieson Greer, thank you so much.
Thanks for your help.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.